Donald Trump's Truth Social has been the focal point of his post-presidential life, serving not only as a platform for his personal and political rants, but also as a vehicle for profit. As the former president's social media venture continues to stay afloat amid the political chaos of his return to campaigning, the stock of his company has been just as volatile, spiking unpredictably and crashing just as dramatically. In the lead-up to the 2024 election, Trump's Truth Social stock took a roller coaster ride, mirroring the chaotic swings of his political fortune. A single week saw the stock go through an unpredictable trajectory, fueled by Trump's election victory and an apparent rush by investors to bet on his success. However, in a shocking twist, within just 24 hours, his stock suffered an almost unbelievable $2 billion crash. How could this happen, and why did Truth Social stock price soar only to fall into a massive crater just as quickly? Let's unpack the story behind this stunning financial fiasco, how Trump's stock briefly soared, and how it came crashing back down in a fiery end. The build-up, Trump's media empire and Truth Social's role. To understand the dramatic rise and fall of Truth Social stock, it's important to take a step back and look at the company's history. Truth Social was created as Trump's response to what he claimed was unfair censorship by mainstream social media giants like Facebook and Twitter. His platform, launched in late 2021, was meant to offer an alternative to the digital giants, which Trump frequently accused of silencing conservative voices. With the 2024 election fast approaching, Truth Social became not just a political tool but also a financial one, as investors looked to cash in on its potential connection to a political comeback by Donald Trump. Despite its lofty goals and the millions Trump had already funneled into the platform, Truth Social was far from a thriving success. It faced numerous technical challenges, with many users reporting glitches and difficulties navigating the app. Furthermore, its financial situation was precarious. By the third quarter of 2023, Truth Social's parent company, Digital World Acquisition Corporation, DWAC, had lost over $19 million. The company's revenues were shockingly low at just $2.6 million, while its net loss for the first 9 months of the year amounted to a staggering $363 million. Yet, despite these obvious setbacks, the stock price was still somehow rising. Election Day, the moment of truth, no pun intended. On Election Day, Tuesday, November 5th, 2024, Truth Social's fortunes took a sharp turn. As the nation anxiously awaited election results, the stock market reacted to an unexpected piece of news. Truth Social's parent company had just released its third-quarter financial report. The numbers were, to put it mildly, disastrous. The company had lost $19 million, and with the election season in full swing, investors weren't sure whether to buy into the platform's future or to bail out before the stock completely collapsed. As expected, the stock plummeted. It was a freefall, with the value of Truth Social's shares tumbling rapidly in the hours following the report. This was the first phase of a truly volatile period. By the time the final votes were counted on Wednesday morning, the stock had lost significant value, wiping out millions of dollars in investor wealth. But this was just the beginning of a very bizarre ride. While Truth Social's financial report sent the stock into a nosedive on Tuesday, the real action began when the first hints of election results came in. The election victory. Trump's stock soars. When it was officially announced that Donald Trump had won the 2024 election early on Wednesday, a new wave of optimism washed over the market. Investors suddenly began to view Truth Social not just as a political platform, but as a potential goldmine. The idea of Trump's re-election, combined with his ownership of the social media platform, triggered a massive spike in the stock price. The market reaction was swift and dramatic. Shares of Truth Social soared, gaining more than 30% in just a few hours of trading. The sudden surge in stock value was a clear indication that many believed Trump's presidency would boost Truth Social's financial prospects. With the prospect of a return to the White House, Trump supporters and investors alike flooded into the stock market, eager to capitalize on what they believed would be a guaranteed win for Truth Social. By the end of Wednesday's trading, Donald Trump's personal paper wealth had increased by more than $2 billion. This was a moment of triumph, not just for Trump himself, but for those who had placed their bets on his success. Trump's victory at the polls was seen as a validation of his media empire's potential, and Truth Social's stock price reflected this renewed sense of hope. The fall, stock price crashes back down. But just as quickly as the stock had surged, it came crashing down. Thursday morning brought a sobering reality check for the investors who had jumped on the Truth Social bandwagon just hours earlier. The initial enthusiasm over Trump's victory wore off, and a massive sell-off ensued. The same investors who had seen their stocks skyrocket on Wednesday were now eager to cash out. The market quickly corrected, and Truth Social stock plummeted by more than 20% in Thursday's trading session alone. The $2 billion increase in Donald Trump's net worth vanished almost overnight, leaving a trail of financial carnage in its wake. It became clear that the surge in stock price was nothing more than a classic case of market manipulation, with wealthy investors selling off their shares to the most optimistic and perhaps least informed Trump supporters. These investors had capitalized on the hype surrounding Trump's election win, quickly selling inflated shares to the public at a premium, only to see the stock price crash back to reality. This kind of financial maneuvering is all too familiar in the world of high-stakes trading. The stock market is filled with opportunistic traders who understand the art of buying low and selling high. In this case, Trump's victory became the perfect opportunity for quick gains at the expense of those who were hoping for a long-term win. The aftermath, a financial disaster for the Trump brand. For many Trump supporters who had invested their hard-earned money in Truth Social stock, the crash was a painful lesson in market speculation. These were the same people who had bought into the narrative that Trump's victory would make Truth Social an unstoppable force in the tech world. They believed that with Trump back in power, his social media platform would finally become a profitable and legitimate competitor to the likes of Twitter and Facebook. But the reality was far different. Instead of a bright future for Truth Social, the crash left investors with nothing but empty pockets and shattered dreams. The stock had been artificially inflated by the excitement surrounding Trump's victory, only for that excitement to quickly dissipate once the initial rush wore off. In the end, the big winners were the wealthy investors who had made their profits by selling off their shares at the peak of the market. These traders understood that Truth Social's financial troubles were not going away anytime soon, and they took advantage of the situation to line their pockets at the expense of the more gullible buyers who had rushed in on a whim. As much as the market's volatility in the days following Trump's election victory was a testament to the unpredictable nature of financial markets, it also exposed a deeper irony. While Trump supporters were celebrating his political win, they were simultaneously being financially fleeced by the very system they claimed to despise. The rapid rise and fall of Truth Social stock provided a sobering reminder of how easily individuals can be taken advantage of in a market driven by speculation and hype. Ultimately, the $2 billion that vanished in 24 hours symbolizes not only the fickle nature of the stock market, but also the dangerous game that Trump and his supporters continue to play in the world of politics and finance. For those who believed that Trump's return to the White House would result in a windfall for Truth Social, the harsh reality is that it's not the stock market or the American public that Trump and his allies are truly betting on. It's the political chaos and turmoil that continue to propel his career and his personal wealth forward. As for the rest of us, the message is clear. In the world of Trump, where everything is about hype, the only winners are the ones who know how to manipulate the system for their own gain. The rest are left with empty promises, a crashed stock, and a bitter lesson in the perils of political investments.